SledSend listeners, welcome back to the next episode of the SledSend podcast. Appreciate you guys tuning in, being here as always, regardless of what platform you're on. And as always, too, we have a ton of sponsors that help support SledSend. And by doing so, they're actually helping support all of you guys by giving out some discount codes. So if you want to be with the cool boys and rock some Carbon Pursuit, check the description below. There's a discount code in there for some of their stuff, as well as pretty much the rest of the sponsors that help support us. So appreciate you guys using those. Helps us out a ton. Obviously saves you guys some money as well. And then if you have been seeing some stuff online regarding the SledSend Team Rider Brotherhood, and maybe perhaps that piques some interest, there's a form with the link in the description as well to apply for the Team Rider Brotherhood to potentially see if you are a good fit to be a part of that and link up with some other studs in the industry. We're doing some pretty big things there that are pretty exciting. Got some cool stuff coming for that. So, yeah, let's get into this episode. So this one, I texted Jeff. He was like, man, what are we going to talk about? And I was like, dude, I'm just getting back from Missoula, attending the Kasturkey's Beyond the Backcountry event. And I said, let's talk about that. So this episode is going to be kind of my thoughts and reaction regarding the weekend I spent in Missoula and attending the event Beyond the Backcountry. So yeah,
I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
Yeah. Hit me.
So if you were to describe the event in one word, what would it be and why?
My gut reaction goes to the word epic, but because I'm not super intelligent, I'd like to think of a more intelligent word that's better describing than epic, but we'll just go with that. My reasoning for that is just the insane amount of energy that was in the room at the Wilma there in downtown Missoula. Over 800 people, or they had 800 tickets that were completely sold out. And just, I'm a big believer in energy, and everybody was just super excited, super stoked. I talked to so many people, and everybody was just like all smiles, the entire time. And, I think it had a pretty serious impact on the industry, and, especially for like kicking off excitement for the season. Right. So I would sum all of that up with the word epic. I know epic gets thrown around a lot. But yeah, if you can think of something more intelligent than the word epic, if you attended, comment below.
If you had to pick between Heydays or that next year, what would you pick?
Man, that's a hard one because
I should have saved that for this or that.
That's all right. You can bring it up in the future. I would say that's really difficult because they're two totally different lanes in my opinion, right? That's hard because if you think of like just pure fun and hype and excitement for the season, that's really tough, right? Because they're both super, super fun. Now, if you want to ask that question pertaining to like business and SledSend, Heydays has more impact on the brand, right? And the podcast and the stuff that we're doing. But it was kind of parallel to Heydays, in the sense of like, at Heydays we're talking to so many different people. People are walking up, but at the Beyond the Backcountry in the Wilma, it's relatively a small theater, kind of. So we're all just 800 plus people. You're just packed in there by like sardines, which was cool. But you're having a conversation, and then one person walks up, and then you switch into it's just like it's kind of crazy, which was fun. I'm not knocking it in that sense by any means. But yeah, I don't know. That's hard to compare the two.
So for fun, you go to Beyond the Backcountry.
Yeah.
From a business perspective, you go
work.
to Heydays.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay. Yeah. Before you jump into any other, questions, I'll kind of lay out like what
Your
I did.
weekend.
Yeah. The layout of the weekend. So something that was super special for me this was actually the first snowmobile related event that Lindsay ended up going to. So she traveled with me over to Missoula. And then also really cool, we ended up staying with my sister that lives in Frenchtown. She's a senior at the University of Montana. And she went to the event as well too. Right. So it was really cool for me personally to be able to take the two of them and especially Lindsay, because she has to hear me talk all the time
Yeah.
about snowmobiling and about all these people and stuff. So she got to meet,
She got a little more insight on it.
yeah. So just to expose her a little bit, and she thought it was super cool. So first and foremost, it was dope that the two of them got to go with me. So we went over on Friday, left super early, got to the airport in Missoula by noon to pick up Wiki. He flew in from Wisconsin and ended up being on the exact same flight as Chet and Ryan from Backwoods.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So they all got off the plane, spent a few minutes with those two boys, and chatted up with them. And then Wiki jumped in with us. We went out to lunch, and then went back to my sister's place for a little bit. And then Isaac, one of our other team riders, he met up with us at my sister's house. And then we all hung out there for a little bit. And then Kasturkey did a dealer meetup thing, like a 2-hour thing Friday night from like 4 to 6. So we all went up to that, and then met up with another team rider, Andy, hung out there for a couple hours, partook in that. And then,
how many team riders went?
So team riders that I met up with was, Wiki, Isaac, Andy, Jamie, and Corbin. So 5 team riders.
Was Wiki the only one you've met in person?
No, Wiki and Isaac I had met.
Oh, Isaac, yeah.
Yeah, but Corbin, Jamie, and Andy were all new to me.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, which was super cool. Yeah, and then Friday night after the dealer event thing, I just went back to my sister's without the boys, and I ended up helping my sister on a college video editing project. You'd be proud. I edited a 5-minute video for her, which was super cool. Sounds like it's better than what the other kids were doing in the class or whatever. But anyways, so just hung out there. And then Saturday morning, first thing, we woke up. My sister had to study for a little bit, and then we went up north to Arlee and got to hang out with my grandparents that live up there for, I don't know, a few hours or so. So that was cool. I don't get to see them too often. So spent some time with them, came back into town, went back to my sister's, and then ended up, from there, went back into town, picked up Wiki. Him and I went to the Iron Horse Brewery, had a drink, and then walked down to Michi Ramen. It's like a ramen style restaurant.
They have that in Montana, huh?
Yeah, it was actually really good.
But nice, they don't have 7-Elevens.
Yeah, come to find out. So yeah, we went out to dinner. Wiki, Isaac, Lindsay, my sister Sadie, with Kyle Hustis and a couple of his friends. So it was super cool to hang out with him and have dinner and shoot the shit for a little bit. And then it was literally like 2 blocks or 1 block, half a block even. And then we were right in line to get into the show. So the only kind of downside, I guess, is, which it's all good, but dinner took a little bit longer. Doors opened to the Wilma at 5. I think we got in line at like 5:30. So by the time we got in there, I mean, the place was just packed.
Looked like there was a huge line.
Huge line.
Saw on Ponzer's story.
Yeah, we were standing there for a minute. And then so once we got in, we were up top on the balcony on the second level, kind of in the back. So we were a little ways from the action, but I mean, still good view and still you could hear everything just fine or whatever. So yeah, we got seated and and then the show got started. So it was pretty cool. I think commentary was mainly ran by Chet from Backwoods, and then they had Duncan Lee that asked like a bunch of questions from everybody there. So I forget the exact agenda, but there was a ton of like sins of the season that people had submitted and voted on, which was pretty cool to see who won that.
Who won?
I don't remember his name, but he did some like sideways barrel roll flip thing. It was pretty sick. I don't know if he was American.
It's probably from like Norway or something.
Yeah, I don't remember. And then they did like some highlights of other athletes. So like David McKinney had a section. The Cool Freshies boys had a section. Then there was a section for Ty. I'm going to murder this. We'll just go with what Chet says. Ty D from Canada. a section from Turcotte, I believe, a section from Muskoka, who got screwed over on his flights and couldn't make it there.
That's crazy.
So Chet
sucks.
They like played his video, and then Chet had to like FaceTime him and put the microphone up and stuff for a minute.
I bet he was bummed.
Yeah. There is a section for Jeff Shaner, I believe is how you pronounce his last name, Sledwyo, and Chris Brandt too. And so when they did each of their sections, they like watched the clips and then rolled up the video screen and then rolled out a couch. And then they all sat there.
Did like an interview?
Yeah. Duncan Lee asked a ton of really good questions. And the flow, like my overall impression of Beyond the Backcountry, like from a production standpoint, was sick.
Yeah.
Who knows how much internal stuff that they were battling or issues or whatever that, that we don't see.
You couldn't tell.
Yeah, no. It was, as far as like, the first time or first ever event like that they've done, the production level was just phenomenal. And I've been involved in a lot of events and ran logistics and stuff, and that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And so shout out to that whole team that was involved with Caleb putting all that on. Polaris was there. They had their semi parked out front, which was super cool. They had Turkey's new factory 9R boost on the stage, which was cool. And then they also did a bunch of giveaways. I think like 3 different packages of giveaways, different levels, right? Some 509 gear, some shocks, a free clinic, some Olins, and then they did the main like movie premiere, right? Which was quite a long time. I don't know, 45 minutes or more, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was so sick. And I believe his name is Nate from Backcountry Alliance. He did most of the
together.
Yeah, he did. I think I saw a post on it. It was like over 500 hours of editing.
Yeah.
Which is just retarded to think about.
But not surprising.
It was super sick. I mean, I think Andy posted in the Slack channel. I think it's releasing November 7th.
That's what I was going to ask. Where's it going to release?
Yeah, on YouTube. I'm assuming the Proven Progression channel, obviously. November 7th, I believe that's the date that it'll be released. But hands down, I mean, it was so sick. The production, the editing, it was super, super cool. Really good video. And then Kasturkey talked about it. Nate came up and talked about it and whatnot. So the overall whole flow was just really cool. And then,
what do you think its Rotten Tomatoes rating would be?
You know what that is, right? Yeah. So like the higher Rotten Tomatoes, the better it is, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I think so.
I mean, I would.
Did it have good storytelling?
Yeah, a little bit. It wasn't heavy on story, I don't feel. It was obviously heavy on writing.
Yeah.
Right. There was a little bit, not a ton.
Yeah.
But
impressive to have that long of a video and have enough clips to do that.
Yeah. I can't imagine the amount of filming hours that all those boys involved in that.
Making selects was probably a long process.
Yeah. It'd be cool to get Kasturkey on here at some point in the future and give his, behind the scenes of what all went into.
Get that other guy on here too,
Nate.
Yeah,
get the behind the scenes of what all went into.
Have an episode just talking about the edit.
Yeah, because I mean that's another thing that most people don't realize, how much work goes into that type of stuff, right? Like I'm fortunate enough to work with you as long as I have, to kind of see like the time that goes into even just what we
all
produce.
Of it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's, a lot of people don't comprehend what actually all that stuff takes. So mad respect to the filmers and editors and everybody that put all of that together. And then the last thing was they gave away a brand new 2026 boost, which was super cool.
I was gonna ask, what was the energy like when they did that?
It was really exciting right up to the moment that they called it, and then everybody but the winner was like,
Yeah.
But I think the winner had like a Yamaha hat on, so I think he rode Yamaha, and now he's got a brand new boost. So
I saw that.
Pretty cool. So I mean, yeah, the energy was super hyped, super stoked, and that was kind of like the end of it. And then it was just kind of like an after party hangout for, I don't know, half hour or an hour after all that. A bunch of people left, a bunch of people stayed, just hung out.
Yeah.
And then got invited to go to a VIP after party at a brewery from like 11 to 2, and stayed around there until like 1. But yeah, it was super cool. I had a ton of people walk up to me that knew the podcast that I hadn't met before, shook my hand, and a lot of conversation. Just so much like smiles and laughs and excitement. It was all pretty cool. Yeah, so that was pretty much the gist of the event. And then, I went back home, and Sunday, Lindsay and I got up and drove back home to Oregon. So that was the weekend. But
sounds fun.
Yeah,
sounds like a long weekend.
Yeah, it was, but it also went by really fast.
You were probably tired on Monday.
A little bit, yeah. Not too bad. Way different than a weekend of doing podcasts, right? Like, way less energy given. But I don't know. My first overall reaction of it was, first and foremost, it was just super dope that they had the concept and they brought it to life and it sold out. Which doesn't really surprise me because of Kasturkey's attention and everything. But it was just really cool to feel the energy of that many people all aligned with the passion and love for sledding under the same roof, to just build the excitement for the season. And also, like, for me internally, it was definitely a source of inspiration, right? Yeah. Like, not to take away of anything that SledSend has accomplished with the podcast, the team rider, everything, I'm grateful for where we're at, and what we've accomplished and where we're headed, but it also help fuel a little bit more fire, right? To do more. So it'd be interesting to see what that impact, for the future is going to hold on everybody that was in that room, right? Like, how's that going to change the landscape of film premieres in the industry? Cause hasn't really been much of a thing.
Yeah. It seems like that used to be a thing, and then it died.
Well, it died. I think
sounds like it's going to come back.
It died because of social media, right?
Yeah. But I think people miss it.
Yeah. That goes to show you that event, right? And then also the Cool Freshies winter kickoff parties that I've been to too. I think this year, next weekend, as we're filming this, next weekend is his 5th one. And I don't really, and that's always been super successful for him. I've been to a few of them. And so it's cool that they're doing that and continuing. And I think that that's just going to continue to grow and get bigger for them. They're giving away a free sled this time, which is sick. And I think Jaden said over $15,000 worth of stuff, that were donated. That all goes to their local Avi Center. But I say that to shine a little bit of light on Cool Freshies and what they're doing, but also to say that, outside of that, I don't really know if really any other people that are doing stuff like that, and whether that's because the work, the cost, the time, or is it just because instant gratification from social media?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that, I was under the impression, because Turkey was already putting out a wait list for next year.
Yeah.
And building out the back end of everything of what this can look like across the next 20 years. So I think it's pretty cool to see what is, going to come from last weekend,
Yeah.
And just the overall positive impact that'll have on the industry. It's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah, was there something unexpected, something you learned or saw at the event that opened your eyes to something new, a new idea, or anything like that?
I wouldn't say necessarily a new idea, and I also wouldn't say expected. I touched on it a little bit, but it's not that I didn't expect that many people to be there.
Yeah.
But I was kind of surprised, kind of not, again, because how much attention Kasturkey has. But I was I don't even know if impressed is the right word. I was just super stoked that it was sold out and that there was that many people there. They might have to do a bigger venue.
Yeah. I'd say what I didn't expect is, I guess, the production value seems like they went like all out.
Yeah.
Theater, they have Polaris there out front. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Looked really, really good and polished.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it did. And I think, I think part of that.
It looked like a Polaris event, like an event like a company like Polaris would put on.
Yeah.
Not like, an individual or a smaller group of people.
Well, and I think, and this isn't from any conversation I've had with any of them. This is just from the outside looking in. I think, everybody had a huge hand in that, but just from experience, I'm sure that flowers are deserving to be awarded to Chet from Backwoods. Yep, Shay has arrived. The flowers, I feel, again, from the outside looking in, I haven't had this conversation with Kosterky or Chet or anything, but I know how Chet is. And if he's going to do something, it's through the roof.
All out.
100%, right? Like, that's just his personality.
Their brand.
And Chet gets shit done. Yeah, 100%. And so, like, I kind of feel like that was talked about a little bit, of like, Kosterky kind of had the idea and then it just spiraled into, everybody kind of getting on board and making it what it was, between 509, between Arctic FX Graphics, Backwoods, obviously Polaris, to make it what it is. So it's pretty cool. And it'll be really, really neat to see how they top it for next year, right? Like, I mean, it's in his company name, Proven Progression, right? Yeah. So what's the progression going to be to top that for next year? It's pretty cool to think about.
I'm texting him to shut his truck off because that's annoying. Also, your camera.
Camera died?
It shut off. It has a full battery. I don't know what it did.
Looks like I need to buy a new one.
Yeah. Was there a moment that gave you goosebumps other than the whole event?
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely, you know how it is when there's like really awesome cinematic shots and the music is on point, right? Like just the energy from that. There was a couple moments with some of the sins that some of those boys did off cliffs or off jumps or, where I did get some goosebumps a couple times at some points, which was, really cool. I mean, it's just amazing what some of those dudes are doing on sleds. It's bonkers.
What else do I have for you? Do you think events like this are gonna reshape sled culture?
I do. I do feel that it'll have an influence on the future for sure, especially from like what I mentioned, the impact from the people that were in that room, because I know internally like what it did for me from like an ambition or a drive standpoint of like, man, we need to step up our stuff.
Yeah.
Again, not saying that we're not achieving things and doing great, but so it's like I couldn't have been the only one in that room that felt that way.
Right.
Right. So I think that lit a fire under multiple people of like, what could they continue to do and push, and have a bigger impact than they already maybe are.
Yeah. I'm going to go back and ask you the question I asked you at the beginning. Because I think maybe you'll have a better answer now. Let's see if I can put you on the spot again. But yeah, if you could describe the event in one word now, after talking about all this, what would it be and why?
I would use this word from like a 30,000 foot view, because this word got brought up a few times. Brant said it, a couple other dudes said it during the event, and that word is differentiate.
Yeah.
Meaning figure out how to set yourself apart from anybody else.
Yeah.
Right? And that event differentiated itself from any other event in the industry.
I mean, I didn't go, but I think two words I would think about are maybe like inspire or community. I think maybe. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it was an inspiring event based on what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it also shows you the strength in the community showing up to something like that.
Yep.
It seems like, I don't know, it seems like a lot of people have talked about how the sled community is getting smaller, but it seems like maybe like some of these things are helping kind of rebalance that. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I think inspire is a really good word.
You got to think like social media kind of took away from a lot of stuff like this for a while. And then COVID happened. So there wasn't a lot of in-person stuff. And that also took away from it. And now it seems like people are starving to go out and do more things like that again. Maybe they, I don't know. I like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe things are going to trend in a direction where there's more of that stuff happening.
I for sure think it changed the course.
Yeah.
Of what's to come in the future.
Yeah. Maybe it changed the course of the sled industry for ever, potentially.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I saw a post. I'm in a Facebook group of like East Coast sledders or something.
Yeah.
And Backwoods made a post in there, hosted a vote of if they were to do something similar to that on the East Coast. Right. And again, going back to Chet, if you know anything about him and Backwoods, they ain't going to stop. Right. So he's just full steam ahead. He might be going multiple different directions at the same time.
Right.
But he's all in.
Yeah. No, whatever he does. Yeah. It's always top notch.
Yeah. Yeah. No, props to everybody that was involved, but obviously props to Caleb, coming up with the concept and, working with everybody and the time that went into it to produce that and create that, to have that impact, pretty cool.
If you had to pick maybe like, I don't know, I guess you'd call them like groups. I don't know. What would you call like Core Freshies, Proven Progression? I guess you just call them like companies. I don't know.
Brands?
Yeah, 3 brands. Yeah, if you had to pick 3 brands to replace like Boondockers, Thunderstruck, and Slednecks, who'd it be? As like the new like 3.
New 3?
Yeah.
From brands and not specifically just from
like who's making
standpoint, or
if you had to pick 3 to replace it, like a Proven Progression, Core Freshies. Now I'm just like giving you answers though, so it's not really.
Yeah, I would say, based off of 1, where they currently are, and 2, where I see they have potential to go.
Yeah.
Like maybe they're not there yet.
Yeah.
But potential. Definitely Proven Progression comes to mind.
They're there.
Yeah.
He's there.
Yeah, they're there. I would say Core Freshies and what those 3 boys are doing.
Who's the third?
I would say, I would put, and you could knock me off my high horse if you want to, but I would put SledSend there, just with what we're doing, especially from the word differentiate, doing things that nobody else in the industry is doing.
Yeah.
And the long-term impact that we will have. But if I was to not name myself and not be arrogant,
I know who I'd probably pick.
I would have said Boondock Nation, but I think that off of some recent posts and a recent future podcast that's supposed to be coming out, I don't quite think that that's a thing. I don't know all the details there. But, you look at what they did and like the Out West Sled Fest and the community and the reach and the views and overall engagement that they had. So then I would maybe say probably Jack with the Backcountry Village, I believe, is his new brand.
You tell me. Shay probably knows. Is that right, Shay?
Then a third one. Because I'm afraid you're going to say somebody. I'm going to be like, why didn't I think of that?
I already have someone. Yeah.
Who?
I don't want to give you inspiration. You got to figure it out yourself.
Man.
It's easy. They make the best. I think they make some of the best videos. The best vibes, for sure. It's 509.
Oh.
DMC
Yeah.
Digital. Their videos are like, they have good vibes. I think theirs are more closely, like, more close to like a sled film that they put out. They put out like those on like throughout the season.
Yeah. Well, if we're talking, I mean, that's hard.
I'm not just talking about like social, like you're kind of like YouTube style videos that everyone makes, you know, because
I guess, are you talking more of like video style impact? Because that's what Thunderstruck, Boondocker, and Sledneck, right? Like that was.
I'm not like talking about like your daily vlog, like sled weekend videos.
But you're talking specifically about high video quality and the impact from that versus like more so community stuff, because SledSend is more so community stuff. So you're talking like video.
Yeah. Who's going to replace those three?
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, that makes way more sense.
Let's circle back for clip purposes. So if you were gonna pick three brands to replace Boondockers, Thunderstruck, and Slednecks from like a film perspective, who would it be?
Proven Progression, 509, and Cooler Freshies.
You know who else makes good videos too? Is
a runner-up.
Ross Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
His videos have good vibes too.
Yeah.
Kind of like the 509 videos.
Well, another one worth mentioning too is Jeff Shaner with Sled Wild.
Yeah, he makes good ones.
Some awesome stuff.
Who else am I?
And I would put Backcountry Alliance with Nate, but I say that with his, you know, he's tied into Proven Progression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think those were all good answers. If you could sum up the event in one quote that you think would go viral on TikTok, what would you say? What's your viral quote take?
Something along the lines of, does this something along the lines of like, does this completely change the sledding industry as we know it? Something along the lines of that.
I like that, actually. That was good. It's
a good hook.
Yeah. No, maybe that's our title for this. Do you think Proven Progression is building something bigger than just films?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think that they're building a pretty unique community. You know, and I also think that they're having a very on-hands influence on your average sledder's riding ability, I would say. And I'm saying that from the outside looking in, because I have yet to go to one of Kosterke's Proven Progression clinics.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's public out there that this is Brandt's last full year of full-on guiding, as well as Dan Adams is pulling back as well, too. And they're focusing more on riding to ride, right? So he said this in a podcast, like Brandt's backcountry is still going to be a thing. Like they're still going to do clinics, but it's going to be like his guys running it, not so much hands on him.
He'll be less involved.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And so you potentially can be, you know, and everybody has X amount of time that they're going to be involved in whatever it is that they're doing. Right. And so, you know, Kosterke has a lot of attention, a lot of influence there. And, you know, it'll be interesting to see over the next few years how that grows and how he expands, if he chooses to expand the team and bring on more people like, you know, Levi Green and having more of a team so that he can reach more riders per class. You know what I'm saying? You know, and obviously he has one of the craziest riding styles, you know, and so to be able to be on the snow and learn from somebody like that, you know, that's just going to be immense progression for all of his clients. So I think that that's going to have a serious impact on your average skill level of average riders. You know what I mean? It's just going to increase that. So community, video, and riding skill set.
Who do you think in that theater that night is going to be the next face of the sport? So I feel like exclude Kosterke. I feel like he kind of is right now, in my opinion. He's one of them.
Yeah, I think that, and when you say the face, like I believe,
Maybe not the face, but like,
well, I would say it's in different categories,
yeah,
right? Like Andreas Bergmark is an entirely different category than Kosterky.
right.
Turcotte is different in their riding styles, right? And so like a new face, I would probably say within the Wilma that night, would be probably Ty D.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
And the dude's super cool too. Like we hung out with him in Jackson at the Backwoods Kosterky penthouse.
Do you guys have a lot of fun or what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does he know how to have fun?
Oh yeah.
Like our style of fun?
Yeah. No, he was cool. And down to earth, right? And real, right? Like, but yeah, I would say him.
All right, let's end it on this. If you had to pick one moment from that weekend as your favorite, what would it be?
I'll say two.
Two.
One was being able to have Lindsay and my sister there, and then the time that I spent with the team riders is one. The second one, especially from the event itself, is, and this is one of these things, like when this video gets released, you'll know what I'm talking about. But there was a scene that sticks probably the most in my mind from the buildup of the music and the sound effects to the shot was that huge jump that Kosterky did in Canada on the model year 26 that was kind of still in
Was that the clip that
prototype.
Nitro Circus reposted?
Yeah. And he just sent it, right?
Yeah.
That was one of the moments in the film for me where I had goosebumps, right?
Yeah.
Like just the energy, the music that led up to that moment, and the actual shot itself. That was probably the highlight. And funny story on that Kosterky said was, or I think Nels actually said it from Polaris, was Kosterky sent that clip via text to Nels and was like, is it okay to post this?
Yeah.
Before they put it out, because that was like right around
Huge.
the release of that 26 sled. So that's what I would say to your question.
Do you have a this or that?
Like, would you rather?
Or would you rather? Yeah, sorry. I have one.
Yeah, I'll say one. Just because this is based off of feedback and my own.
Man, I'm gonna have to answer this.
My own version of collecting data while I was sitting there watching that. Would you rather have a movie premiere like that where it's all just video? Or would you rather have it like it was, video with intermittent talking and speaking segments in between?
I like that. I'd rather have the speaking and whatnot because you get the backstory.
Mm-hmm. Me too. But
what?
We might need to cut this out. But, and this could have been for multiple reasons. I was telling Shay this yesterday when we were in the gym. It could have been because it was influence from alcohol, or it was because I was way back in the back and things were a little bit quieter. But every single time that the speakers, like the filming stopped and the speakers came out and asked questions, everybody around me was talking.
Yeah.
Being loud and engaging and not paying attention to what was on stage.
We need a little crowd control then.
Which was interesting. And I could still hear everything, but it wasn't quite like as if you were front row, right? And so, again, it might have just been like influence from alcohol, or were they not engaged and didn't care?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was getting pissed because I was wanting to pay attention and listen, and everybody was. Yeah. I mean, I think that's why I bring up the alcohol thing, because people were loud and
I feel like that was probably why.
But that was just interesting. So.
All right, you ready for mine? So it's just you riding with one other guy. And that other guy is either me or Jose. Would you rather be stuck in the bottom of a huge canyon with me, or Jose? Dude, I could be a joke in this too.
I would say if I was in that situation, I would rather be with Jose because Jose's vibes will outlast yours every time. Because you'll get tired and cranky and hungry.
Yeah.
Before Jose will.
Yeah. Maybe, actually. We haven't seen him to that point yet.
I can confirm Jose does not get grumpy. I got grumpy before Jose did.
Well, I could see that.
I could see that too. that's easy. If I was in the shit.
Him and I have shorter fuses in different areas.
Yeah. If, let's say this, same question, but we were in the shit and it was life concerning, I'd probably rather be with you. Like if safety's involved,
I was
and
gonna,
my life depended on it.
I was gonna add that. Like we're feeling like we're in a really bad situation.
To live, Jeff, vibes, Jose.
That's hilarious. All right, that's a good one to end on.
So hell yeah, cool. Well, SledSend listeners, I hope you guys got some value and some interesting things out of that episode. It was fun. I definitely encourage you guys to sign up as soon as he releases it. The wait list for next year. I'm pretty sure he's going to do it again next year, and it's sold out. So I highly encourage all of you guys to sign up for Beyond the Backcountry and attend that next year because it was phenomenal. It was really, really cool, and I know that they're going to step it up and do it even bigger next year. So definitely check it out. And I believe that Beyond the Backcountry will be released November 7th on the Proven Progression YouTube channel. So be sure to check it out. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And we got the other boys in the room, so we're going to shoot another episode, and we'll catch you guys on that one. Next one, that one.